Now, going on to the political part of the podcast, you have Donald Trump criticizing DeSantis' stand on ethanol. Now, recently Donald Trump criticized Florida Governor DeSantis and presidential nominee DeSantis for opposing a federal program supporting the ethanol industry. Now, that tactic could open up the former president's mixed record on biofuels with scrutiny, so it looks like Trump's gone back and forth on this. And this is very strategic in terms of geographically where Trump had this message come out politically when he spoke about it. Now, this was during his campaign in Council Bluffs, Iowa, and he told the state that, quote, you, quote, need to know, unquote, that DeSantis is someone who, quote, totally despises, quote, unquote, ethanol, and has been fighting it, quote, for years. Now, I'm a proud Iowan, and a quick search on the internet will tell you one of their largest, not one of their largest, the largest crop in Iowa is corn. Now, it is somewhat a little hilarious and ridiculous. You can't eat the corn. It's all made for industry. So if you look at major usages of why farmers grow corn that you can't eat, it's usually for cattle feed, so they could eat it. It is also for corn syrup, which is injected to every damn product on the planet. I would argue that's probably not good for you because, yeah, probably not good for the obesity rates in the United States. And third big use for it is ethanol, which, depending on your state, is forced to put a certain percentage of ethanol into the gasoline when you go to this gas station. Usually, most states will look at the little regulation placard and it says, disclaimer, this isn't the good gasoline, you're getting neutered gasoline. It's about 10% ethanol in every gallon of gasoline you purchase, which is done for a myriad of reasons. The logic back in the day was that the United States were going to try to become more energy independent, but instead of drilling for oil or natural resources in the United States, we're going to grow it. Interesting theory that in theory would decrease our dependencies on foreign countries, usually who don't like us, so we wouldn't need to buy their gasoline and fuel. We would have that 10% gap. This caused to have huge government subsidies for the farmers in states like Iowa because they would grow the corn and be made with the specific purpose of being a fuel to put in your vehicle. Granted, never put pure ethanol into your vehicle unless it's designed for it, and even then it burns hot, so it wears down the vehicle more quickly, and it also is not as combustible as gasoline, so you need more of it to actually get the same results. So, like Thomas Sowell says, there's no easy solutions. There's no magical free solutions, there's only trade-offs. I forget the particular quote from him, but at the end of the day, there are no solutions, there's trade-offs. That's the actual quote he says. And it's true, there are trade-offs with using ethanol, but it's also artificially decreased the price to the end user because the government pays massive subsidies to the farmers. So in terms of a political move on the chessboard, pretty good on Trump. In terms of the specifics of their actual agricultural numbers, and this was a couple years ago based on cash receipts in 2015, the top agriculture produce in Iowa was 8.8 billion of corn, 7.5 billion of hogs. Looks like cattle and calves came in at 4.41 billion. So it makes sense. If you're campaigning in Iowa and a big part of their economy is corn and it's primarily sold because of ethanol, if you were to say you're getting rid of ethanol and gasoline, which would be better for your vehicles, you'd lose a lot of farmers' votes, and also the little ripple effect, all the people that the farmers interact with, maybe the farmer buys certain clothing material, or maybe they buy some feed from their neighbors or someone else. If they find out their neighbor voted for someone who got rid of their main livelihood, and that farmer would have to change their crop or rotate the crop, or they would have to change their entire farming business strategy towards alternative solutions that would be more profitable because the subsidies are not there. So in terms of political move on chessboard, brilliant move by Trump because he needs to win a lot of the swing states. Historically speaking, Iowa's been pretty purple. Obviously it's skewed because you have the college campuses like Iowa City, and the whole city is, a lot of the economy of the city is dependent on the public universities. But one of those things where it's actually a pretty good move on chessboard for Trump to bring that up, and it'll probably get him a couple more votes over in Iowa. Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in today. We're trying to get to 3,000 subscribers this month, so I really appreciate you taking time to click that subscribe button. Don't forget to like as well as leave comments. The feedback is greatly appreciated. Also, don't forget to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.